Here we are, everybody. The second episode of Ms.Marvel is officially out. And it continues the trend, I guess, they're going to set now for being a very stylized piece of the MCU that nobody saw coming. So let's talk about everything that happens in here while trying to avoid spoilers, which almost becomes impossible. But hey, let's get to it anyway. One of the things that stuck out to me during the first episode of Marvel's Ms. Marvel was the way that it was stylized and the way that it took a different approach to some of the visual storytelling, and that trend continues in episode 2. And again, if you guys would like to get all of our thoughts on episode 1 and episode 2, the audio commentary will be out. And of course, we go in depth, scene by scene, discussing everything, theories, and all that. But what I will say here, without trying to get into spoilers, that the second episode definitely is another one that the pace isn't as fast as I think some people would want it. Again, we are taking some time here to establish the friendships, the relationships, who Kamala is, her connection to her family and friends, and we get hints of the bigger things happening behind the scenes and in this world, but they're not necessarily slapping us in the face with it or trying to rush through it, which I think really works wonders for this episode, the pacing of the show, and what it's bringing to the MCU. Now, again, I do want to address something here that I've addressed before, and I think it needs to be stated again. If you're looking for a pure adult show, you're not going to get that here. Again, Marvel Comics, as always, has been for all ages. Not everything has to be for everybody, and I think this episode further exemplifies what Marvel Studios is trying to do for everybody. And to me, the second episode really does hit some different strides compared to the first episode. Again, maybe there's not as much action, maybe there's not as much going on to further the plot and connect it to every single thing happening in the MCU, which people seem fixated on. Like, we're at this point where people don't even care about what's going on with episodes, they just want to know when the next cameo or connection is going to be. There's not a whole lot of that here. Again, it's a more personal story, back to basics. Again, before I drew comparisons to Spider-Man Homecoming, that continues to be something here that I feel through and through with everything going on. And I absolutely love it because I also love Spider-Man Homecoming. What I really like about this is that they further continue to focus on the more grounded elements of the Marvel Universe and just how these people live and how their lives are being affected by everything around them. Of course, we pick up the pieces with the aftermath of Avengers Con, what happened at the end of the first episode, and the post-credit scene, and it all plays out, I would say, rather well in this. I think the two episodes go together very well, and it makes me think that maybe Marvel realized that they were going to be showing these internationally in places as films with two episodes stitched together, because honestly, episode 1 and 2 feel like a complete film to a degree, which I really like. And maybe it's those made for TV, obviously, films, not like a theatrical, but it works here. I like the episode. I can't wait to see more. I can't wait to talk about the fallout of it. I just overall think that this is a different vibe for the MCU that I absolutely cannot get enough of. I really like it. I know that gets me backlash, but hey, this is YouTube. What doesn't get you backlash, right?